Is Don Jon the new Don Juan in a way?
Yeah, I think in a bit. Speaking of which, I mean, it's certainly based on that traditional, literary character. But the difference, of course, is traditionally Don Juan, and in the Molière version, Don Juan is destroyed by his weaknesses. And I like to think of myself as a bit more of an optimist. I like to think that people can change, and so I wanted to have a movie where by the end there is a glimmer of hope, and you start to see this guy begin to break out of his mold.
When you ask a woman as beautiful and as talented as Scarlett Johansson to play in your first movie, and she finally says yes, is it like asking a girl to the prom and being nervous and she says yes? Oh my God.
I didn't go to
feel
prom,
like that?
but I suppose,
But this was like a prom.
This was a much bigger deal than a prom. I had been thinking about her and only her, and that's the truth, only her playing this role for over a year while writing the screenplay. And I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't liked it. I might have tossed the whole damn thing.
Oh, now that's don't do that.
Why did you
Don't
say
do
yes?
that.
Why did you say yes?
It was the money. Now the money. I was really excited to collaborate with Joe on his directorial debut, I have to say, and I think the conversations that we were having were really inspiring and exciting, and I think that's why I choose to do any project that I choose to do, other than the big bucks, is really because I was really inspired by Joe and his vision for this film, and very pleased with the
Do you have
fact
the
that I got to
same
do it.
view as your character?
Yes. No. It was an easy part for me to play.
How do you feel about internet porn? That's what
I
wanna
love
ask.
it. It's like everybody else. It's free. It's so easy to access.
Speaking of money,
Watch it anywhere. Your cell phone. You can watch. Well, that's part of this film. You can just.
So you did a lot of
inspires all the ways
research.
you can watch it. Yes, of course, constantly. I can't stop. I have a problem.
it's ruining my
It's
sex
ruining my sex life.
What does this movie say about modern masculinity and where we at?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think that, modern masculinity is a probably a result of modern feminism or postmodern feminism, and I think that there's, in some ways, I'll probably get skewered for saying this, but there's a backlash, I think, of this kind of thing. Men have a hard time, finding an identity because it's kind of been stripped away from them, and some of the responsibilities or whatever that may seem traditional and kind of and sort of, I don't know, conventional are I think kind of important ones to uphold, and then when they're stripped away, I think there's this kind of struggle to find an identity, and the reaction to that is either a hyper masculinity that sort of seems very reactionary, or a kind of femininity that's in sort of a femininity or whatever that's another sort of a reaction to it. I think it's a confusing time to be a man.
Thank you, Dr. Johansson.
And a
Thank
woman.
you. Thank you very much.
You could say pretty much everything you just said about men. You could also say about women.
That's probably true.
And in a way, that's a really great thing that we, nowadays roles are sort of more up in the air than they used to be, and that gives a lot of people a lot of freedom, and that's a great thing. And it gives us all an opportunity to sort of create our own identity. But then we're confronted with this superabundance of images, of ideas of you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. Let me sell you this product by telling you what you're supposed to be. And how do we deal with those images? That's sort of what the movie's poking fun at.
Anyway, it's very funny, and congratulations
Thanks
for
very
your
much.
performance. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
you.